This is going to be a look at some Lamar Jackson film from weeks 1 and 2. What he's done so far is borderline heroic. I'm not going to quote stats for you. You can go look the stats up yourself. What I have tried to do in this video is separate the play concepts or the types of things Lamar is doing into four categories. The first set of plays will be explosive pass plays, big plays. Not all of them are downfield. Of course, you got the 79 or 75-yard touchdown pass to Bateman that was on a short slant, a well-designed play, one where I think Lamar knew where he was going with the football. The second set of plays will be over-the-middle concepts, which was at one time, what a lot of people said is the only thing Lamar's able to do, throw the ball over the middle, over concepts, play action stuff to Mark Andrews, the big tight end. And there'll be a little bit of crossover between the first two categories. The third category will be outside routes. Generally short, at least two of them design plays, and I'll kind of offer some commentary how I think we could help him out a little bit because we're going to need to. He can't be Superman every week. I mean, he can be Superman every week. That's clear. But at some point, we need other guys to make more plays. And so far, offensively, they are. We could very easily be 2-0, to kind of try to be a voice of reason or voice of calm. If Lamar Jackson's given more opportunity to throw the football in certain situations in the second half, I think we could outscore that Dolphins team. Dolphins team is talented on defense. They clearly did hold us down some in the second half. I think we only generated 10 points. But we definitely had chances, in my opinion, or opportunities where I think we were a little too conservative, and maybe the next time the Ravens won't, take their foot off the gas pedal, which I kind of think they did at halftime. The fourth concept or type of plays you'll see is scrambles or runs. So you kind of know some of the plays that are coming. Obviously, I did a big live stream on Lamar Saturday morning, but I thought people would want to see something like this and just have my commentary. And I wanted to get this out on film, to be honest with you, kind of to tag or document the things that I think, as the season is developing. Obviously, the third down touchdown pass to Duvernay. At the time that it happens, we don't know that Duvernay is going to score another touchdown that game. And then he's going to return the opening kickoff against Miami. So clearly he's growing exponentially as a playmaker, even though he's someone who has made plays before. Really well-designed slant pass play to Bateman. I'm going to rewind this so you can check it out a little bit. I think there's a lot of things going on here. The Dolphins are in their 5-1 nickel look. A lot of people don't like this when I call it a 5-1. That's an outside linebacker there. That's an outside linebacker there. And then here's a Mike. Inside backer. So they're doing this, they're playing man free. All right. They got a strong safety man on likely. Corner man there. One of these guys is gonna run across with Duvernay, and it's gonna leave I think Howard's gonna bump down and play man on Bateman. Bateman's got a nice little release. I know we've all seen it at this point. Gives him two stutters, brings it back inside, beat extremely cleanly. Lamar, I think, knows where he's going with the football. And you'll get the end zone angle here, I think. You'll see Lamar understand as soon as that guy goes with Duvernay in motion, I think all Lamar does is confirm that he's got this guy or someone running with Duvernay, so he knows where he's going to bring this back in here in all this vacated space. There's no way for the inside linebacker to not at least respect the sweep threat to Duvernay. I think it was the second down there. I could be wrong. Great play call, great design. Lamar's mechanics are awesome. If you ask me, it was funny. Who was the guy on the comments that was talking about Lamar's mechanics get worse every year? 2 or 3 people ripped him up. I read it and didn't reply. But look, it's a game of inches. Every athletic endeavor at that level, at the pro level, is a game of inches. Look, that D lineman, that's like the third time he did that in the game, by the way. It looks like he almost tips the ball as it is. Doesn't get tipped. Bateman catches it, takes off. Beautiful play. And he's definitely developing into a home run hitter. I'll be honest with you, my video after week 1 about home run hitter was kind of a tongue-in-cheek title, to be honest with you, after this one. I love how they move the pocket here. I don't think we historically have helped to Lamar a lot, but we are showing some evidence of helping him a little bit in terms of the scheme and making things easier on him. I love how we've moved the pocket. Take note of where he is when the ball's snapped. He's on the left hash. And then where we move the pocket to and leave Ricard and Oliver in to block. Lamar makes the play, don't get me wrong. But in this situation, if you ask me, they're giving 2 players who are clearly complementary players or however you want to describe it, a job that they can execute. And that's what coaching is giving guys a job they can do. I will clearly have film out about the defense and some of the blown coverages, miscommunication, whatever you want to call it. later in the week, or actually later Tuesday, I felt like Marcus Williams and Lamar were playing at such a high level after 2 games that it was made sense to do those film studies earlier in the week. Last week I delayed the Lamar film study until the Saturday morning live stream. It's not like Lamar hasn't made explosive plays in the past. I mean, come on. If Ravens fans don't need to be told this, I mean, for real. But if there's anybody watching this who's not a Ravens fan and thinks that the things Lamar is doing is like an anomaly or is new, that's just jackassery to the 10th degree. I mean, he's always been making these plays. Last year, our offensive line was terrible. Really terrible. And so we weren't able to protect him. These are throws over the middle now. This is bunch right A, damn near 100% pass formation. If you don't know what bunch right A is, you got 3 receivers. You can't see one of them. He's off screen to your right. And then the running back is on the same side. That's A, meaning he's on the same side. In the terminology that I was taught and continue to use, if the back was on the other side, it would be bunch right B. Of course, for the defense, we wouldn't call out the formation. We would just say bunch A, bunch B. But in any case, you see that Lamar's got great vision, great footwork. Even in week 1, takes some contact from Powers and maybe even 58, who I think is Lawson. I don't know if it's a no-look. I just know it's a great pass, right there. Has there been 2 or 3 passes that are slightly behind our receivers? Yeah, I guess. I'll show you one of them later on. Touchdown to Demarcus Robinson over the middle. I love this play call. I love the effort that the Dolphins defenders show. So first we've got Bateman, who's like kind of engaging Xavier Howard. I think Robinson brings this out similar to Bateman's touchdown and then brings it back across. And I think you've got Duve chipping and then slipping out into the flats. Bateman, I think, is obviously available as a receiver here, even though Xavier Howard has pretty good coverage on him. It's man, and I thought we really took their man defense to school. I think the Dolphins have played a risky defense for 2 years against us and got away with it, except for the big plays, Sunday. Another example of how easily things could be changed. This is Bateman running late across the field, left to right. Watch how close this ball is to the safety 29, who looks like he's like a foot or maybe 2 feet away, because we have a somewhat deceptive view here. And then Xavier Howard challenging it. Great to see Demarcus Robinson make an impact. All right, over the middle, we got the classic Mark Andrews stuff. I'm not going to show you a ton of these. I do like the design. I'm not sure what they called here. I can't recall. But I like the design. First, we got Duve in the slot, and we're running kind of like deep crossers, except Andrews' route is a little bit more like what I would call an over concept, whereas Duve's is, well, at least what I was taught, a climb concept. And I've explained that in multiple videos before. But in any case, this is one of the balls I think Lamar's thrown a little bit behind Andrews, and you get a little bit better view from the end zone angle. It's still a great win by Andrews. Lamar is sharp. I think he's got 6 touchdowns through 3 games, right? 1 interception. Could very easily be 2. You see what I mean? That ball could have possibly been thrown, a little bit further away from Andrews and the defender to lead him towards the end zone. But we're rolling in terms of throwing the ball downfield. This is a beautiful concept. Usually we run it out of pistol. I'm going to show you an old play of this to be real, just like I did with the Marquise Brown play. I love the way we split the tight ends on this. And this has been in the playbook since at least 2020. We've run this before with Boyle. Andrews, I think, is going to take this out and then kind of bring it back up the top of the numbers. And I think that's Oliver is going to. Those 2 lines are drawn a little bit too close together. I don't think they're really that close together on the field. Oliver's kind of taking this in towards the safety. Yeah, see what I mean? He's kind of bringing this back in towards the safety. To me, he's just occupying the safety. That's all he's doing. And we're isolating Andrews up here with whoever the boundary side corner is. I'll let this run finally, and I think I'll give you the end zone angle. And then I'll show you one against Washington in 2020. Same concept. I obviously know that they, ruled that was not a touchdown. I just love the split that we get from the 2 tight ends and the guy in motion, which is Ricard. Same concept that you're going to get here against Washington. 2 tight ends into the boundary. Ricard in motion left to right. Again, we're in the pistol. Little play fake. This time, Andrews is wide open over the top of the DB level. All right, empty formation. Now, these are not exactly over the middle here. I think you get 2 targets to likely. I really like this play design. I think we got a wheel by Likely, an out by Andrews. Look at all the gravity that Andrews has pulling those defenders. Lamar makes a great read. He's not predetermining who to throw the football to. You got an out by Andrews, a wheel by Likely up the sideline, and then I think you've got something like this from the number one receiver, which I believe is Duvernay. Cool design. Lamar, I think, was reading this guy who went with Duve, so he hit the wheel to Likely. Big gain. I think 34 yards. Likely's going to make more plays. I thought he had a real contribution Sunday against the Dolphins. Excited to see what he can do. I think this is one example of, a disappointing finish to a play. This is a third down where I think it's quite obvious you've got a hold on Patrick McCarry. Even on second watch, for a moment, I thought, no, Ben Powers just clips the guy and knocks him down. McCarry's trying to hold. He's trying to hold. And in my opinion, this should be called. I mean, he's wrapped the guy up. He's beat so badly because he was laid out of his stance. Like, that's not how badly McCarry was beaten when he was actually out of his stance. And then Powers is going to come in here late and knock him down. But I offer to you that even if Powers doesn't knock him down, this should be called a hold. I think that's what the flag was on. The refs picked it up. Very suspicious to me that they picked it up. Great adjustment by Lamar. He's clearly trying to figure out, like, okay, do I have a free play here, or is this penalty on us, and I shouldn't waste my energy taking off? I think that's why he doesn't run, and I think it's a nice job by Likely of finding the open space. Clearly, we'd like for him to catch that football. Would Lamar like to have thrown it, down here? Yes. If he had approached the lead up to the throw slightly differently, is he capable of throwing this ball exactly on target? Absolutely, 100%. All right, if you guys have, first of all, if you guys don't understand, like, producing videos that are conceptual is not easy. Like, packaging concepts together or similar plays together is not easy, number one. Number two, by doing a Lamar Jackson film study, I know that NFL Films and Baldy are going to do breakdowns of Lamar every week. So what happens is this video gets monetized for like 5 days, maybe 7, and then the NFL claims monetization. So if I make $80 or $90 or $100 from this video, that gets wiped out once Baldy claims monetization of it. That's the way it works because he uses the film and he works for NFL Films. Great, good for him. So if you've ever considered supporting me either via Super Chat or joining my Discord or becoming a channel member, for $5 a month, please consider it now because it helps justify the effort that's put into the videos to try to bring you guys high quality or the best quality that I can. And then obviously, make adjustments once monetization is pulled from a particular video. Forgive the little side monologue there, but, I do this and I enjoy it and I love it. I would like to bring you guys as much content as possible, whether it's going to be monetized or not. All right, one thing I do like is Lamar is, I'd say 4 or 5 times walking up to the line and saying something. I'm not exactly sure what's being said. I really think this is a stupid blitz by the Dolphins. It just doesn't make sense to me. Nothing about this makes sense. It's not like you've got a corner blitz and somebody, peeling off drastically to help out there in the flats. You have a guy moving across the field. I just don't understand what they're doing here. I don't get the blitz. Unless what they were thinking, they being the Dolphins, is we're going to show heavy blitz package. And the Ravens are going to attack the same way they did last year, which, if you remember Bateman on the backside of 3x1, let me get rid of this. 3x1, you got 3 down here, and the Bateman's the 1 up here. On the backside last year, here's what he beat them on, okay, in Miami. He beat them on a slant. He beat them on a speed out. He beat him on a deeper out, I think once. Later on, he beat him on a slight little out and up, but it wasn't really an out and up. All right, those are the main routes that I remember him beating them on in this 3x1. And, of course, the corner was backed off in that sticks blitz 0 look. So the only thing I can think is we were trying to go up top, so they wanted to roll the safety. But even the safety doesn't take a good angle. It's a really curious call by me, and I'm not exactly sure what the rationale is. Watch the angle this guy takes. It's not that bad. That's a poorly drawn line, but it's not a good angle at all. It's a very weird blitz to me. Lamar recognized it, got it out there to Bateman. We did punish them for some of the risky, unsound things that they do, but they continue to do them. Play action. I love this by Lamar and by Bateman. Lamar, if you watch him off the snap, first he's going to look over here down to the right, which I think is Robinson. I would slow this down, but I'm concerned about the frame rate and stuff. So you can see he's looking to his right at something. We really only have one route developing here at all, and Robinson's not open. Then he's back on Bateman to the left, and he's giving Bateman time to get open. Bateman brings this route back, really wins cleanly. I love it. I don't know if you guys are as impressed by some of the stuff Bateman's doing. I am. I find him to be incredibly dangerous. A really well-designed play on a 2nd and long against the Jets. Covered this during the live stream. I will do a video on Duvernay later this week. This is a block by Andrews, a block by Prochet, but they don't block until Duve catches the ball. Dangerously close to Mark Andrews, really. This is a designed downfield screen. He's catching it. The line of scrimmage is here. So he's clearly catching it downfield, but we haven't really started to block yet, so it's legal, even though there is a gray area there blocking downfield on screens. I wish we did more of those design plays like that and design plays like this. Do we have any running game whatsoever? No, we don't. But having said that, the under center boot stuff could still be a weapon. And I think it's possible that the under center boot stuff might help the run game if we actually give this sometimes on the run to the weak side or to the strong side. Lamar's technique, his feet look pretty good to me. The only thing that I know someone would say, who I've been around, would talk about his pad level rising up on this ball fake here, but that's a very small thing. Great arm. Lamar doesn't just have a good arm. He has a great arm. Get out of here with that. Oh, he's got an adequate arm. All right, last type of plays, and then we'll be done with this film study. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I do participate in the premiere chat, so as the video premieres. This is a 3rd and 8. Really still can't believe he converted this. The things that he's doing all at the same time, they remind me of some really historic football players that I'm just not going to mention yet. I'm not going to compare him to certain guys that aren't even quarterbacks because of the number of things that he's doing at such an incredibly high level. This play is very intelligent. I'm sure that most quarterbacks would recognize that this is man, okay? And the routes generally are taking everyone to this side. Oliver is going this way. Ricard went in motion. He's here. You clearly got a route down here. Now, Davis's route is kind of bringing him in the opposite direction. That's kind of typical of our tailbacks. They kind of go opposite the flow sometimes. Lamar understands, I got man, I can go. That's awareness. That's understanding the coverage. He's not doing anything that's guesswork. He's not doing anything that's, maybe I can fit this ball in there. He's like a computer right now. He is. This is that beautiful 79-yard touchdown run. I'll break this down a little bit more from the end zone angle. I'm trying to do one-play breakdowns every Sunday night, and I can't, you can't show the film because it's broadcast angle. That's the only thing that's available at that time. It's not monetized content, just trying to bring you guys some content. This is almost like Wildcat, and Miami knows it. They got man here. They got man here. Presumably, I guess the mic would be manned on the running back. And then running through is going to be Duve on the play fake. And the corner runs with him. You can see that Lamar is reading something. I mean, you can see right at his face mask, right? He's looking at something. Normally, you'd be reading the will linebacker. But that will linebacker is going with Duvernay because he's got to. He's got the halfback or tailback, Davis, and Duvernay, while the ball is in there, there's a mesh. He's got to honor this back crossing his face. You can't just let the back cross your face. There is a great job by Ricard, Moses, and then also the unheralded guy here is Ben Powers. He pulls, and as Duvernay is working to the mic, who's trying to get over top of him, right, I'm going to pull this back so you can see where the mic is. This is the mic, and he's putting conflict. He's putting conflict. They're trying to get this guy outside of the tailback. They're trying to get the free safety inside of the tailback. So you got an alley player and a force player. And then they're trying to get him to fit off tackle so that they can stop both plays because they don't know whether Lamar's going to give it or keep it. Ricard doubles off of Moses' man and gets to the mic. And then this free safety very alertly veers back into the play, and Powers is going to pick him up. You'll see that Powers and Ricard kind of form a wall right here, kind of accidentally. Ricard, to be honest with you, has lost people in terms of agility this year, more so than last, although there were situations last year. But in this case, we did a great job. Look at the hole that was opened up. This might be one of the options for us to use in some short yardage situations because we've been so terrible in those short yardage situations. Now, having said that, I think the Dolphins' front seven is pretty damn good. I think it's quite obvious that the Jets' front seven was pretty good too, even though they did get 30 points dropped on them and give up some run plays to the Browns. I think Lamar is playing at a great level, but I'm going to say something some of you might not like. I think he played at this high a level in the first 5 weeks last year, except for the turnovers. I think he had 3 against the Raiders in week 1. He threw a pick 6 early to Tyrann Mathieu in week 2 against the Chiefs. He threw another interception on a really bad ball, I think, down near the end zone to Mathieu. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I may have my years mixed up because we played the Chiefs early in the year, 18, 19, 20, and 21, I believe. But in any case, I think he was playing at this high level last year, except for the turnovers. This year, I think the play design is much better on a lot of our pass plays. You let me know what you think about that thought in the comment section. Lamar definitely seems to understand the coverages we're getting, and the receivers are doing a great job of winning on a correct leverage side. We've got well-developed weapons, Bateman, Duvernay. Demarcus Robinson, I think, is a gem. It concerns me that he disappeared in the second half, and I think that's one of the key points of data or evidence for me that indicates we became more conservative. Demarcus Robinson, in my opinion, needs to be on the field more when we're attacking with the pass. And I didn't see him involved much in the third quarter because I felt like we were more conservative. And it just seems like right now in those situations when we're conservative, we're not getting anything out of it. We're not producing. We're just not. And it's not fair to Lamar to ask him to do all the things that the great quarterbacks do, which he's doing at a really high level right now. To read some of these option plays, to scramble when it's third down. You know, we put him in those empty formations sometimes because we understand that if things break down and they're playing man, Lamar is just quick enough to go ahead and convert it himself. And then in short yardage situations to ask him to be the primary ball carrier when we pack all 11 guys in there tight, I think that's wrong. If we're going to run him on those short yardage situations now, with the way our team is constructed right now, I think it's got to be on plays like I just showed you, which I would just say is power read is all that is. Or QB counter read is another concept that's popular for him. Let me know what you think of the breakdown. Again, if you've ever considered supporting me by joining my Patreon or joining becoming a channel member for $2 or $5 a month, please consider that now. We all do this as content creators because it's fun and we love it. But we certainly, would like your support. If you don't support me on Patreon, pick another Ravens content creator to support as well because they all deserve it, if you ask me. I know that it's difficult to be positive. I tried to put out 2 positive videos late tonight on the high-level play that Marcus Williams and Lamar Jackson are demonstrating. Tuesday afternoon and evening, we'll focus more on the defensive breakdowns and hopefully recognizing some of the things that we can do to fix it or just some of the things, certain situations where we need to play better. Appreciate you guys checking out the video and listening to my commentary if you've listened this long. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so now. And if you really like this video, please consider sharing it on social media, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, somewhere to help this video get more reach and exposure.